What is it that we did? Briefly, the most important thing that we did is change the business environment. Before we changed technology, we changed the business environment. And I'd like to tell you briefly what we did, because I know that my friend Jair Bolsonaro is doing exactly that thing. Well, I was a captain later in the paratroops. The first day I wasn't a captain, I was a recruit. And the commander put us on a big field, and he said, get in a straight line. Now we're going to take a special race. You, Netanyahu, you're first. Look to the person on your right, put him on your shoulders. The next man, look to the person on your right, put him on your shoulders. And the third, and so on. And then he said, he blew the whistle, and we took the race. I had someone about my size, heavy. I could barely walk. The next guy in this company, he was the smallest soldier in the company. He had the biggest guy on his shoulders. He collapsed. The third guy was a big guy. He had someone relatively small on his shoulders. He took off like a rocket and won the race. I said to the people of Israel, when I became finance minister in 2003, and we had a big crisis, I said, we are like those soldiers in the race. Because in the global economy, all national economies are a public sector sitting on the shoulders of a private sector who has to do the work. And what we have to do is, we became too fat, like the man sitting on the small soldier. We're about to collapse like that soldier next to me. So we have to put the fat man on a diet. That's hard politically. And we have to give a lot of oxygen to the private sector below. What is the first source of oxygen? Lower taxes. Lower taxes. Reduce the size of the public sector. Reduce taxes. And then, as you run forward, reduce the barriers to competition. Because now you have a trim private sector or public sector sitting on an athletic private sector, and you think everything is fine. But the athlete begins to run and he hits a ditch. He crosses the ditch, he hits a wall. He crosses the wall, he hits a fence. These are called barriers to competition, bureaucracy, overregulation. So you have to put the fat man on a diet, lower taxes for the private sector, and remove barriers to competition, reduce regulations. We did this. Because of this, Israel's economy grew very fast. We now, according to the IMF, passed Japan in GDP per capita. There are other indications. We did many other things that moved the Israeli economy. Unemployment went down, inequality went down, people were working, earning more, and so on. This is what happened to inequality. As we put the reforms, first it went up, and then it went down. So when we produced growth, competition, lower taxes, lower government spending, we actually got both improvements in GDP per capita and inequality. Israel is more equal now than it was before. All this is simple.